Hello, fellow passengers on this hillside tumbling train car that is YouTube. I'm Charlie Eve of this, my new channel, Andrew's Engineering, and as you can probably glean from what is on the screen, this channel is going to be centered around the creation and demonstration of robots. Which brings me to the little dude on the screen. This is Project Alpha, and he is the first robot I've made entirely by myself. From the designing to the coding and all the painful things in between. So, because of that, I hope you can forgive me for his horrifically janky appearance and his exceedingly limited capabilities. Anyway, so he is only made up of 4 components: the Arduino, the keypad, the screen, and the motor. So pretty much the only things he can do are change his little face, and here are all the graphics that go on the screen, and move his little motor, both being controlled by the keypad. So you would probably think this would be really easy, and it probably would be for someone who actually knows what they're doing. First, there was all the pain in figuring out how to use all the components, which I would normally solve just by googling it or whatever, but there was always a weird thing like an image converter not working with a specific line of code, or the pinouts for the keypad not being the standard that they normally are. I was also originally going to have a little buzzer in the robot, but then I kind of fried the one that I bought. So I bought another one, but it ended up being a different one and needing a resistor, and I couldn't be bothered to buy and solder a resistor, so I vetoed the buzzer. Random story, but that's the end of it. Anyways, here's the code, and if any real coders, or really anyone that can actually code sees this, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to properly code, but I would love some advice for how to streamline and fix it. So, after all that weird code drama, I had to put it all together. But I don't own a 3D printer and I couldn't be bothered to buy a piece of metal for the base. So I just used the side panel off an old coffee machine and cut it into circles. One for the base, for all the electronics to sit on, and one for the actual bottom to spin around on. Is he going to be janky? Yes. Yes, he will. But is he going to be loved? Yes. He will. We going. These were a lot harder to cut out than they should have been. My poor little hands, they're so sore. Ow. Ouch. Ouch. This is as smooth as we're gonna get it, folks. I cannot do it anymore. No. This is already so gunked up. Even the brush cannot save it now. But it was all fine because my little cat was being very helpful. She's helping. Are you being helpful? So then I finished cutting them out, and after getting my helper's approval, it was time for my favorite part, soldering. So this part involved, wouldn't you know it, a lot of soldering, some unsoldering. Round 2, let's go. A lot of troubleshooting. I just spent like the last hour soldering and something's not working. Why? And a whole lot of settling for hack jobs. Okay, so his edge got a little bit ratty. That's okay. We love him anyway. Also, I'm going to take this moment to say how much I love soldering wick. It is so nice and easy, unlike the horrific vacuum that I hate with every fibre of my being. I cannot get it to even do the one job it was meant to do. Help. Anyway, that's my rant done. Except it's not my rant done because I also had to connect a battery, but I didn't have the correct connector. Well, I did have the correct connector that I got from this robot arm kit, but then I cut it up to put it in this old HMV radio because I have no concept of future planning. So really this wasn't an issue, I just soldered it onto a battery box. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show my cool radio, so there we go. So, Then the final step was to make the outer shell, and in true form for this project, it was way harder than it needed to be, because again, I don't own a 3D printer, I had to use something else, and my first thought was, but surprise, surprise, that didn't work. I probably could have made it work, but I didn't want to. So I just swapped it for a weird bowl I bought for like $3 at Target. It came with a weird colander, so I got rid of the colander and proceeded to cut out the holes for the electronics to poke through. This took way too long. Way too long. And it still doesn't even fit really well. Rip. Then I spray painted it. Then I made the stencils to paint some decorations on the shell, and I also added some stickers for decoration. Then I put some clear coat on the thing, and finally, it didn't fit. Okay, so this one clearly didn't work. And that doesn't help either. So, I guess I have to start again with a new bowl. So, take 2. Cutting, painting, ruining the paint, having a meltdown. Spray paint on my phone, spray paint in my brain. And I loved how it was before, now I hate it because it's all gloopy. Also, when I started round 2, I decided to use the weird colander to act as the thing that actually holds the electronics, and then just use the bowl as a cover because it was much easier with the holes to mount all the pieces. So then, after everything was put together, something kinda broke and I didn't know what it was or how to fix it for the longest time. So the only way that I can get it to work is if I just fully stick the wires into the terminals. And I might try to get a female to male connector, but for now, I'm just gonna tape it and pray. I am a silly gal. So it broke again and I was stumped for like a week trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with it. It's this tiny thing. Why? At least I'll know for next time. So anyways, after all that, it was finally done. Except I'm kinda sad because the motor doesn't have the power to spin the whole thing. I should have known that would happen, but I didn't. So it doesn't really spin. I mean, the motor does spin, but not when it's on the base. So, aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this weird janky video for my weird janky robot, and I hope you can maybe stick around for when I might make some better robots that are less hack jobby. Anyway, see ya!